This meeting is only for the heirs, the lawyer announced. I calmly set the property deeds on the table and said, "Oh, you mean the ones that are already in my name?" Just like that, their inheritance disappeared. I still remember the lawyer's smug voice. This meeting is for heirs only. My stepmother, Diana, thought she'd finally won after 5 years of silence, after making me feel like I wasn't family enough to even attend my own father's while reading. But the look on her face when I calmly placed Dad's property deeds on that polished conference table? Priceless. She had no idea what was coming. So, before I dive into this wild inheritance story, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. If you're into family drama and sweet revenge, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible true stories. Now, let's get into how I turned the tables on my greedy stepfamily. The call came on a rainy Tuesday morning in Singapore. I was right in the middle of finalizing a huge development deal when my phone lit up with a number I hadn't seen in years. It was my childhood friend, Grace. Her voice cracked as she delivered the news that would change everything. "Maxwell, your father passed away last night." 5 years. That's how long it had been since I'd stepped foot in Maplewood, the small town where I grew up. 5 years since that explosive argument with my father that sent me packing my bags and boarding a plane to Asia, determined to make my own name in international real estate. Now, I was returning home, not as the prodigal son, but as a grieving stranger. As the taxi pulled up to the sprawling Victorian house where I'd spent my childhood, a wave of memories washed over me. The basketball hoop where Dad taught me to shoot, the porch swing where we'd talk business plans long into summer evenings, the garden where we buried Mom when I was 10. Everything looked smaller somehow, like my memories had inflated the proportions. Diana's silver Mercedes sat in the driveway, alongside 2 other luxury vehicles I didn't recognize. My father had always preferred his old Cadillac, practical, reliable, unpretentious, just like him. I paid the driver and stood at the bottom of the steps, my suitcase feeling heavier than it had at the airport. Before I could even reach for the doorbell, the front door swung open. My stepsister Brittany stood there, her face a carefully composed mask of somber politeness that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Maxwell," she said, her voice flat, "we weren't sure you'd come." "He was my father," I replied simply. She stepped aside to let me in, and I entered the house that no longer felt like home. The foyer had been redecorated in Diana's preferred ultramodern style, all chrome and glass and uncomfortable-looking furniture. No trace remained of Dad's preference for warm woods and worn leather. Mother's in the living room with Tyler and some guests, Brittany informed me, leading the way without offering to take my bag. Diana sat perched on a white leather sofa, holding court among a group of town locals I vaguely recognized. When she saw me, her perfectly painted face registered shock before quickly rearranging itself into a grieving widow's expression. "Maxwell," she said, rising to air kiss my cheek. "What a surprise. We tried to reach you, of course, but your number had changed." "It hadn't." "I'm sorry for your loss," I said formally, knowing the dance we were about to perform. "When is the funeral?" "Tomorrow at 2, my stepbrother Tyler interjected, not bothering to get up from his sprawled position in an armchair. "We've handled all the arrangements." Without consulting me. The message was clear. I wasn't needed or wanted here. "Your old room is being used for storage now," Diana added, "but we can make up the guest room for you." I nodded, suddenly eager to escape the weight of hostile stares. "I think I'll get settled then." As I turned to go, Diana called after me, her voice honey-sweet with poison underneath. "Harold Stevenson is handling the estate matters. He'll be here in the morning to discuss some paperwork. Family only, you understand." I understood perfectly. I was being explicitly excluded from the will reading. Full story on channel, link below. Watch what happened next.